Good afternoon. Sorry, good morning. And welcome to Trading Options Network. I'm excited to go ahead and go over the market and look at some trades here. That being said, of course, before we go ahead and do anything, let's go ahead and get this disclaimer out of the way. All right. I'll go ahead and get myself out of there. Alrighty, there we go. Please keep in mind that everything we discuss today is solely for educational purposes only and is not the opinion of Trading Options Network. That being said, let's go ahead and get into everything. All right. By the way, if you haven't already, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite social media platform, whether that's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at all of the sectors because today's been an interesting day, to say the least. This right here is not really giving us a lot of ideas of what's happening in the market because we can't really see it. If I change it to an hour chart, you can see it a little bit more. Look at all these red candles in the most recent times here, in the past few hours from Thursday and Friday up until today. Excuse me. S&P, well, it did come back a little bit on Friday. It's doing nothing but dropping today. Materials is looking nasty. Communication services is looking bad. Energy, everything in the very, very recent past, is looking very, very red. Why is that important? Well, that's important because obviously if we go ahead and open up the S&P right here, let me go ahead and change that back to the day chart. We have been on one heck of a massive bull run all year long. Okay, with the exception of this, the first half of April, we had a little bit of a pullback, but it wasn't even much of a pullback at all. Considering how much we ran from beginning of November all the way up to there to have, what is that, from 520, we'll call it 524 down to 496, we'll call it. Okay. So what is that exactly? $28. Okay, $28 drop for something that is a $524 ETF. You're looking at a 5% pullback. Not much of a pullback at all. And then again, all we've done is run crazy since then. I won't even guess you can call this a pullback here at the end of May. But that's a week. It's an even weaker pullback. So we've been on a crazy, crazy run. So if I go ahead and go back over here to all of our spiders, all the ETFs, all the different sectors and everything, it's making me wonder if, hey, is this week, especially with the holiday, the July 4th holiday, are we going to have a pullback week? So it makes me a little nervous to open up really any position at the moment. That doesn't mean we can't look for good setups. This is the time when you want to look for setups, specific setups. This is not the time to open up new trades necessarily. But again, it is a time to look for setups. So what I want to do is, being that we don't have any trades open at the moment, as you can see here, we don't have any trades open, nor do we have anything on the bear watch list yet, nor do we have anything on the bull watch list yet. There's obviously a reason for that. We just started this new, I guess you can call it a game in a way, but a new tracker per se. We decided starting today, July 1st, that we were going to open up a $200,000 paper trading account. And we are going to track all of our trades solely on this paper trading account because obviously we're never going to make any withdrawals or deposits into this account. It'll just be a way that over time we can really, really track all of our different positions over time without any additional variables moving into that. So We don't have anything open yet. We don't have anything on the bull or bear watch list. Of course, we have our major indices down here in the bottom left, which is going to be represented on the bottom right chart here. So if I go ahead and open up the S&P, here we go. I mean, heck, it's just been bull, 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 bull. I mean, just a few pullbacks here and there. So are we entering another pullback? That's the big question. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to FinViz. And let's go ahead and find one or two bears that we can put on our watch list and one or two bulls that we can put on our watch list. So for bears, let's go ahead and go back to the day chart. Okay, we'll start with the bears first. Let's look for the most bearish sector. And truth be told, I would say right now it's going to be between materials and utilities. Okay? Materials and utilities. Both look like they're wanting to pull back a little deeper. I would say utilities might even be the stronger candidate for a bear, but let's go ahead and see if we can find one from each one. All right, so am I going to click on this chart? No, I'm not. Okay, am I going to click on this chart? No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up to the screener. Okay, I'm going to click. I'm actually going to reset it here because I'm pretty sure if I go ahead and click on utilities here, let's see what happens. Yeah, so let's go ahead and reset it. I'll just re-click on screener here. There we go. And oops, wrong button. Sector, utilities. There we go. Okay. So we can click on charts. I would like to click on performance personally, and I want to see what stocks are, or I should say, have been performing pretty poorly, but maybe had a little bit of a jump here. So I want to get rid of all the really, really cheap stocks. So I'm going to go for over $10. I also want to make sure it's as liquid as possible, so over 2 million. So that brings it down to 23 total options here. All right, and performance in the last month. FLNC obviously has been getting its butt kicked. So I'm not one person to be a chaser, not something that has dropped that dramatically just in the last month and the last week. AES, again, another one that has really, really fallen off. I'm not one to want to go and chase. So let's just look at this chart really quick, though, because again, while I may not be someone to come and chase something, I just want to look at some key levels here, see what's going on. I mean, that's a pretty dramatic drop on some extremely high volume. Obviously today it's acting, pretty poorly, like it wants to go down more. And we could potentially see this one go down to maybe the 1660 level-ish before hitting some support. You can argue actually some support right now. So again, I like this. Had I seen this one last week, obviously Friday was a bad day, but let's just take a look at this really quick. It was going down, 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 and then it was consolidating while the 20-day moving average was about to pass the 50-day moving average. And I'm going to go ahead and put my Bollinger Bands up here as well very quickly. Actually, I can change this to the Bollinger Bands. Boom. There we go. Save. Remember, the 20-day moving average in the middle of the Bollinger Bands is essentially the same thing. Oops, there we go. All right. So, yeah, if we look at this, this was just riding the lower band of the Bollinger Bands all the way down here, and then it just consolidated, never jumping back over the 50-day moving average. That is a great bearish setup. And had you gone in, say, mid last week, you would have been paid off very, very nicely on Friday. But again, now we are below the Bollinger Bands. And, while that is a very bearish stock, you don't want to go and chase those, because if you know anything about the Bollinger Bands, basically this upper band and the lower band, you should expect a stock be between those bands 95% of the time. So the fact that we are below it tells me that, while, hey, we might stay below it today, but the stock is going to want to get back within those Bollinger Bands, the upper and lower band. Excuse me. I don't know why. I'm trying to think of it while I'm talking, what the Bollinger Bands are called. 2 standard deviations. So the upper band and the lower band are both, two standard deviations from the price, average price, okay, on a 20-day moving average in this case. So 5% of the time is only 5% of the time will it be outside of the bands, either above the upper or below the lower. So, we can argue that this one it may not drop much more. So let's maybe look, let's see, VST. Okay. VST is not bad. Let's take a look at this one. All right. So wow. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen this chart yet, but man, did it have a run. And now it's having to pull back, as you can see, and it is just sitting there, consolidating, not doing much of anything for the entire month. So how do we look at this? It did gap up today, but started going down. Let's actually draw some lines in here really quick. So I want to put a line here. Okay, you could even argue that you put a line here. Okay, and then of course we have our support. Either way you look at it, that is a descending triangle. So this is absolutely a phenomenal setup. I don't like the fact that, let's go ahead and clear these. Pretty sure there's an easier way to do it. Yeah, there we go. Remove all the drawings. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to add the CCI. Let's go CCI. And then I also want the MACD. There we go. Save those. All right. I just want to get an idea of what these are showing me. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because in the actual chart itself up here, okay, the 20-day period, in this case, the 20-day moving average is about to drop below the 50-day moving average, but the CCI is showing more of a bullish potential, as is the MACD, okay? So this is very interesting. Now, if these start moving down while the 20-day is about to cross the 50, then that is going to be one massive bear candidate. So I'm 100% going to add VST to our bear watch list. There we go. All right. Oops. All right. So there we have it. It's looking bearish. If I get one more signal, let's go ahead and maximize this cell. Okay, so we have our volume, we have the CCI, and we have the MACD down here. Now again, all I want to see is one more signal. That's it, just one more signal. And if we get that signal, I don't know why I like to have it in the center. Maybe it's the OCD in me. We get one more signal. This will definitely be one that I'm going to open up a position in, a bearish position in. And right now it is something I probably wouldn't go heavy. I'm not going to do a straight put, maybe a vertical spread or a diagonal spread. I mean, you can argue this is completely neutral, and it has been neutral for a month, and we can just go sideways for a little bit longer. That's totally a possibility, especially considering we do have conflicting arguments here with the 20 about to cross the 50, but the CCI and the MACD both looking like it wants to jump up. And that could just simply be because of the fact that we did gap up today. And if it continues to move down throughout the day, these can totally change course. So I'm leaving it on my bear watch list. All right. Now let's go back and see if we can find another one. Only this time, instead of utilities, let's go ahead and take a look at materials. Why am I not? Oh, basic materials. There we go. All right. So we have 26 different stocks here. Jeez, all but 2 have been red for this past month. Again, I don't want to go stock chasing, although this one, if I look at this, considering it's only for the past week, it has been consolidating. Let's see what's it look like from before. I mean, it's been doing nothing but going down, consolidating, going down, consolidating. Okay, so this could absolutely be another option, and I like this the stock price. It has been beat up. Let's look at the month. I mean, look at that. Since its absolute all-time highs, which happened in 2022, and had a high of 334, it has just recently dropped to below $100 a share. So I like this. I like this one a lot. It's been beat up like crazy. Again, am I going to go start chasing and open up a bear position right now? Absolutely not. Both the CCI and the MACD, again, because it has been consolidating, has been showing, almost the opposite. And you should expect that when a stock is consolidating, because these have to come back from their extreme numbers. So you should almost expect that. The question now is, when are we going to break out and in which direction? More times than not, this will eventually break down and go make a further low. Okay. Doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time, of course. And are we going to do it when the 20-day period moving average, and the 20 period moving average, in this case 20 days, catches up to the stock price? Like so, let's say if I just go ahead and extend this, let's just say it just keeps that pace. And sometime in mid-July it starts breaking down. It could be mid-July when this starts happening, okay? Or maybe the second week of July. So we're going to keep... I actually do like this one, even though it's for the last quarter, the last month, I mean, we dropped over 20%. What was it again? If we looked at it... oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so it wasn't over 25%. It was over 22%, though. It's dropped 22% in the last month, which is most of the last quarter. 35% in the last 6 months. 56% in the last year. I mean, this stock is beat up. Oh, gosh, and here's another one. MP. I actually like ALB and MP. I'm not even sure what MP is. MP Materials. Nice little rally, bear rally here. Okay, again, this could come up, hit that 20 period moving average. Okay, and then another pivot down. Or it could just break through it. Maybe it goes back up to the 50 since it's been so beat up in the last month and a half. But again, I like this chart. So this is going to be one that's going to go on my bear watch list, as is ALB. So let's go ahead and put those ALB, ALB, and MP on my watch list. So now I can literally go through these on my Thinkorswim platform one at a time, just by using my up and down arrows from my watch list there. Okay. And again, those are some phenomenal setups. We need confirmation. We're not just going to go ahead and jump into bears right now. We're not. That's stupid. We need confirmation on all of these. But yes, they are all looking very poor. Now, VST, the more I look at it, obviously it has not had a drop like these have had in the most recent past couple of weeks. But it does not mean, gosh, in the last year, that it was at $40, at the beginning of the year. So it's more than doubled. So in fact, it's almost tripled at its high. So that being said, we could absolutely see a further pullback. But again, we need confirmation. If this ends up breaking up, and it very well could, all I'm going to do is take this off my bear watch list, and we're done. So let's go ahead and look for some bulls now. Yeah? All right, let me just go ahead and reset this. All right, let's go ahead and look at our spiders. Let's look at the charts. Let's see which ones were most bullish. Communication services has been really nice. Financial sector, while obviously it's gone on quite the run, I'm not, even though, here, let me go ahead and make it a little bit larger. It's been in this nice run, but when it's doing something like this, in my opinion, sometimes a stock or an ETF can take a long time to reverse. And this almost looks like it's making a very, very large, almost like a bowl shape. Okay? So I'm not super thrilled with that chart right now. Communication services, on the other hand, how it just, has been going up and up and up and up. It's not flattening out at all. We are in a little bit of a pullback, which is totally fine because, again, it seems like the whole market wants to do that right now. And we've been on such a run that it needs it. So this one is absolutely one that I can see us putting something from that sector on our bull watch list. Industrials, again, similar to the finances, it looks like it just wants to start rolling over and really start pulling back. Technology, of course, technology has just been on fire for quite some time. Consumer staples is struggling a little bit recently. It's not the worst, but again, it's not as strong as technology or communication services. Healthcare over here, similar situation. It's more neutral. Real estate is neutral. Consumer discretionary, arguable, but let's go ahead and find one. I'm going to find one from communication services, a nice bull. Oops. Let's go ahead and go to our screener. Sector, communication services. Again, let's change this to price. Now, this one's going to have a lot more, so I'm going to put over 15 here. And, of course, still want to get my volume to over 2 million. That gives us 36 options still. Let's look at some charts. It's interesting because we're expecting to see some bullish. We want to see some bullish charts, and the first couple are, of course, bearish. Let's go ahead and look at performance. All right. So I'll get rid of those. All right. So what are some... what are some stocks here in the communication services sector that have been doing well and maybe have been a little bit of a pullback? Zillow. Don't like that one. It's just been too bearish. Yes, it's been had a good month, but I don't like that one. Roblox, Roku. This is interesting because a lot of these, there we go. AT&T, that looks a little bit better. Google, Google and Meta, those are so dangerous. EA, Snap, Pinterest, these are some fun ones. T-Mobile, actually kind of like T-Mobile. Let's look at T-Mobile really quick. Yeah, T-Mobile has definitely had a nice end of May. All right. What I'm seeing here is you can do that. You can argue in more of the short period of this. And boom. So you can argue that we're having a flag or an ascending triangle here, or I should say a pennant, technically not a flag, but a pennant, or a ascending triangle. So this one could absolutely, and look at this, by the way. Let's see if I can make this a better color because it's hard to see. Bollinger Bands won't let me. That's too bad. Customize color charts. Yeah, I'll play with that more in a little bit. But this chart is showing the 20-day moving average has now caught up to the stock price. Okay, earlier in June it was so far extended. Not to mention, again, it was outside the upper Bollinger Band, so we should expect it to have a little bit of a pullback or consolidation. That's exactly what happened. So the next question is, when do we have our next move? Is our next move going to be up? Is it going to be down? Again, based on the stock chart, if we go back a little bit, this has been more bullish, so chances are we should expect it to see, be more bullish when it does decide to break out. I mean, that's a heck of a pattern right there. And again, it doesn't even matter if we look at it as a ascending triangle or a bullish pennant. Both ways, it's going to signify the same thing. It could be bullish. MACD, while again, we're not surprised that it's come back. If this starts moving up again, as well as the CCI starts approaching that 100, this is 100% a phenomenal setup for a bull trade. So TMUS is going into my bull watch list. And let's go back here, and as you can see, here we have it right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful setup. All right, let's see if we can find one from technology. I guarantee we'll be able to, because technology is just insane. Gosh, I mean, we could find so many. Netflix, not so much Verizon, no. Spotify, possibly. I mean, there's so many good options here. EDR, Endeavor Group Holdings. Interesting. It has been doing nothing. I don't know if the reason for the smaller moves suddenly and the lesser volume, maybe it was part of a buyout or something. Totally possible. I'm not going to take my time to look into that right now, though. All right. So communication services we're done with. Let's go ahead and look at technology. Over $15, over $2 million, 91 options. Why don't we go ahead and change this to over $20? See how much it only took off 5. Whatever. All right, so let's go ahead and find our best bears. ARM Holdings, semiconductor company from the UK. Semiconductors are often very volatile. So I don't know if that's something I want to look into yet. Let's see if we can find some better setups, not to mention some U.S. companies. Not that European companies bad. Oracle, maybe. I'm just looking for the setups I personally like. Here we go. Coherent Corporation. It's a scientific and technical instruments company. But look at that consolidation. Again, we had a nice run. Especially, I'm going to assume that's probably earnings. Was that either June 1st or May 31st or 30th? See, that would have been, June 3rd. Okay. So it must have been coming out of a weekend. But bottom line, obviously something happened there again, probably earnings, and the stock just took off. And now we're in that consolidation pattern. So again, if we go ahead and draw a few things here. This could very well be a bullish pennant. If this was a little bit flatter, you'd call it more of a ascending triangle. But the bottom line is, again, we have the 20-day that's catching up to the stock price now after it shot up so quickly. The CCI is not looking terrible. The MACD could very easily start curving back up and giving us a bullish signal. So yeah, I like this one tremendously. COHR, Coherent Corp. I'm not really familiar with the company, but again, I don't care because I'm a technical trader. So there we go. So there you have it. Now I'm going to keep watching everything throughout the day. I'll be back here in about a little over 3 hours to see if anything has happened, anything has changed. In which case we'll go through some more potentials. But that being said, I really hope that you guys are getting a good idea of what I'm looking for as a trader. I want you guys to all become successful traders. This is a great way to make a lifestyle for yourself. I love trading. It has changed my life personally. I want to be able to see all of you do the same thing and just have fun with it. Have some success. It's a lot of fun being a great trader. I want everyone to be able to just kick some butt, go out there, change their lives, change their families' lives, and just really, really enjoy everything about everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you learned some stuff. Again, we'll go ahead and I'll be back here in a little over 3 hours to see what has happened to the market for the rest of the day. Until then, enjoy your day.